Map layouts prepare your 2D and 3D maps for the printed page for use in reports or presentation posters. They include one or more map views and combine them with additional supporting documentation, explanation, and information that'll help your map reader understand the story that your data tells. ArcGIS Pro projects can hold as many different layouts as you'd like, which, in my opinion, is a huge improvement over the capabilities in ArcMap. Layouts are added to the project just like any of the other view objects. We'll come up to the Insert tab, and then we'll choose New Layout. That'll open up a gallery of all the different page sizes that we can choose from. We have the standard US sizes in either portrait or landscape orientations, architectural sizes, and we can go ahead and scroll down, where we can find the international sizes in portrait and landscape as well. Now, if you're not seeing the page size that you want, you can always come down to Custom Page Size and go ahead and dial in the exact dimensions of the page that you want to set up. I'll go ahead and press Cancel to this, and then return to the New Layout button, and I'll choose to do a new layout as a letter landscape. The new layout opens up in its own view. The Contents pane will display the components of the layout, and in the Project pane on the right, there's a new folder for layouts, and inside of there is our layout that we just added. There are some properties for this layout that we could take a look at. Back over on the left in the Contents pane, right-click on the layout, and then come down to the very bottom and choose Properties. Here we can give our new layout a more descriptive name. I'll call it San Francisco Neighborhoods. We can also change the color mode in this drop-down menu. Choose RGB if you intend for this map layout to be displayed on a screen, such as on a website or in a PowerPoint presentation. Choose CMYK if it's intended for output on a printer. I'll go ahead and change it to CMYK. If you need to revise the page size, you can always do that right here in the properties as well. Just switch over to this page setup. Also, if you're constructing a multi-page atlas, you can create a layout series where one layout template is used across all of the maps in the atlas. When you're done making changes to the properties, come down to the bottom and press the OK button. On the ribbon, I'm going to switch over to this new Layout tab that appears in the very beginning. Then we'll look at the options in this Navigate group. With the Navigate button, I can click and drag the map page around on the screen. I can also zoom back in to the full extent by pressing this button with the green four-headed arrow on it. I can zoom in to fit the map page to the full width of my screen by pressing this button, or I can zoom into a 1:1 view or 100% size by pressing this button here. I'm going to press this button to return back to the full extent so I can see the edges of the page on the screen. Finally, let's take a look at the Show group here in the middle of the Layout tab. Right now we have two checkboxes, one for rulers and one for guides. The rulers appear at the top and the left-hand side of your layout view, and these will help align the contents of your layout. For even more alignment assistance, the guides will help snap things into position. The rulers and guides are both toggled on right now in the Show group, but we don't have any guidelines, so let's go ahead and add some. I'll come down to the top ruler and just right-click on any arbitrary spot and choose Add a Guide. That'll add a vertical guide to the position that we clicked on. If you want to remove a guide, simply right-click on it and choose Remove Guide. You can also add multiple guidelines at once by right-clicking and then choosing Add Guides with the ellipsis at the end. That'll open up a new window where you have finer control over the exact placement of your guides. I'd like to place guides around the margin of the page at 1/4 inch in to denote the printable area for my printer. I'll change this to both to drop both horizontal and vertical guides. I'll come down to placement and change it from single location to offset from edge, and then I'll type in the measurement 0.25 inches. That'll denote a 1/4 inch margin around the entire page. I'll go ahead and press OK, and those 4 guides get added to the layout. I'm going to add in a few more guides that's going to help with the layout of my document. I'll go over here to the left-hand side and right-click on the 7-inch mark and choose Add a Guide there. Then I'll come up 1/4 inch and right-click and add another guide. Next, I want to create a gutter down the middle of the page. I'll come over here, and the middle of the page is 5.5 inches, which is right there. So I want to go 1/16 inch to the left, right-click and add a guide, and then I want to go 1/16 inch to the right, and once again click and add a guide. That'll help me visualize a 1/4 inch gutter or blank area down the middle of the page. So now I have a page layout started and some guides added to the page that'll help me align my content to an orderly arrangement. Next, we need to start adding in some map content.